Greetings, YouTube. The doctor is in. Dr. Urias Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on MCOC, Marvel Contest of Champions. And today we are going to rank up our 6-star Awakened rank 4 Signature 200 Omega Sentinel to rank 5. If you are unfamiliar with Omega Sentinel, this tech champ excels at damage over time debuffs and taking down mutants in Marvel Contest of Champions. The key features of Omega Sentinel are the pre-fight abilities, auto block mechanic, and then the incinerates, of course. And her ability to overcome mutants pretty fast. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I am live. All right, so let's go ahead and rank up Omega Sentinel. So we've got everything ready to go. This is going to cost me about 2 million gold to rank her up. And we are going to be pretty short on Tier 6 Basic and Tier 3 Alpha after that. So in addition to ranking her up, we're going to go ahead and test her out just to show how she works. We're going to look at her kit. We're going to look at her Awakened ability. We're going to look at her synergies. And then we're going to do a rotation with her against Winter Soldier just to see what she can do against Winter Soldier. Let's get her up to full blast. I brought this one up to Sig 200 a long time ago. I don't want to do that. I'm going to grab all of this junky ISO that I got in here that's getting ready to expire and just use all of it. So I got her up to Sig 200 a long time ago, and I've been meaning to rank this champion up to rank 5 for a long time, and I just haven't done it. She's very high PI. We're not going to ascend her. She's very high PI. So out of all the techs I've got, including all the 7-stars I've got, which I've got a rank 2, which is Shuri, but that's not Awakened, she is number 2. And that is only because Nimrod is ascended. So let's take a look at her kit. So again, she's a tech champ. She's at least God tier. We're giving her a rating of an A. It's not beyond God tier, you know, compared to things like Nimrod. She's kind of a tier down from Nimrod. Nimrod is the ultimate against mutants. And, you know, a couple of tiers down from champions like Hercules. She does not need to be awakened, but she is very effective when awakened. But the rotation that I'm going to use does not really require any of the awakened abilities. So she's got a... I'm gonna pull up... We're going to pull up Aunt May, and we're going to look at this in Aunt May because it's actually very nice in Aunt May. So she's got a cybernetic nanotech making her immune. She takes no damage from bleed and poison effects and grants her immunity to the regen reduction from poison. So she doesn't take any damage from either one. But they're still debuffs, which makes her very friendly if you're running suicides. That's Liquid Courage and Double Edge. And then when she is inflicted with a bleed or poison effect, she gains a self-repair, healing 20% of the missed health over 10 seconds. And this ability does not stack and ends early if she's stunned. So she's got this regen mechanic. Great thing. She has an incinerate mechanic. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But her incinerates right now do 3,664 damage over 6 seconds. They also remove a perfect block chance and remove block proficiency by 50%. And against mutants, instead, she inflicts a plasma debuff. And now, the reason that is important is because there are no mutants that are immune to plasma. So there are some mutants that are immune to incinerates, like Sunspot, Kitty Pryde, and Colossus. So they will not get away from this. So she starts the fight, and you can choose which one of these you want. She starts with either Nanite Carapace, Electrostatic Pole, or Plasma Wave. I always like to start with Electrostatic Pole. Even though I'm going to rotate through these, I'm going to keep that one up as long as possible because this one inflicts a heal block. It's just a flat-out heal block. So it will stop kind of all that nasty regen that you might be getting from some of these, especially mutant champions like Wolverine or Deadpool or any of those type of champions. So Nanite Carapace will inflict a Cowardice, which reduces the special attack damage by 10%. That's okay. It's not great. And then Plasma Wave inflicts a tracking debuff that bypasses the effects of miss for 8 seconds. So if she's got a falter on her, she's not going to miss. If there's a champion like Photon who goes invisible woman, or the stealth ability of Guillotine 2099, not going to miss. So that's another good one too. Plasma Wave is another good one. And the rotation I'm going to use, you're going to pretty much be able to keep all three of these up at one time. If an opponent is inflicted with 3 or more of her personal non-damaging debuffs, she inflicts a Incinerate. And on mutants, that's a Plasma. So once you get the third one up, then you want to start just putting one on, and it inflicts a Incinerate. And the reason that's important, and we're going to get to that here in a second. So she's got this adaptive body. She also is immune to Nullify, Stagger, and Fate Seal. And against mutants, her ability accuracy cannot be modified. Now, that only really affects 2 things. So that affects this right here, this 20% heal. And it also affects this 50% armor up chance that she's going to get with her Awakened ability. So that's just okay. But the rest of this is great. Nullify, Stagger, and Fate Seals all suck. She gains an indefinite armor up buff. So these don't go away except for a certain circumstance. Whenever either champion makes contact with the same basic attack twice in a row. So if you do medium, light, 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 she's going to get 2 armor up buffs, increasing her armor by 964. You can gain 10 of these. You want as many armor ups as you can possibly get. So when struck at 10 or more armor up buffs, consume all armor up buffs, purify any stun debuffs, and gain a 100% chance to auto block for 2 seconds. And then while defending, this ability requires 5 armor ups instead. So it's any champ uses the same basic attack twice in a row, she gets an armor up. So this is why she is awesome as a defender in Battlegrounds, but particularly right now with the meta that we're going, this meta is almost over, thank God. But particularly now because she is immune to these 2. She takes no damage from these 2 damage over times, and she gets a auto block. So she is almost unkillable in this particular meta of Battlegrounds. When Omega Red would auto block a hit, inflict an Incinerate debuff on the opponent against mutants, and inflict an identical Plasma instead. Not in addition, but instead. So when struck by a heavy attack while auto-blocking, gain a 100% chance to resist a block break. So she will not be knocked down by a heavy attack. All right. So when she activates a special attack, all of her personal debuffs are paused for the duration of the special attack and 2 seconds afterwards. So this is where you really can keep your personal debuffs going for a long time, because these will all last for 8 seconds, and you want them to last as long as possible. Now here's where the armor ups come in. On contact, consume up to 5 armor ups, increasing the duration of all debuffs inflicted or refreshed by this special attack by 1 second per armor up consumed. So this 2 seconds here, plus if you consume 5, that's another 5 seconds. So they'll last another 7 seconds. So all debuffs triggered by special attacks can trigger through the block, which is another great thing too. So you kind of, in your rotation, you kind of want to try and build these up as much as you can. So special attack 1, the last hit refreshes all personal non-damaging debuffs on the opponent. If there are no debuffs to refresh, instead inflict 2 debuffs with the type and potency determined by her current weapon. So that's these 3 things here. Whatever she's got at the time. Remember, you switch these when you hit a heavy. You pause them when you end with a light combo, and it has to be a medium, light, 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 light combo. And you add one when you do a medium, when you end with a medium, and you can medium, medium, and it ends, and it inflicts them with a non-damaging debuff, whatever is in her current rotation. So the special attack 1 will refresh all those, and if there are none, it'll inflict 2 of the type that she's currently in, which will last for 8 seconds. Special attack 2, the last hit inflicts an incinerate debuff on the opponent. So that's 1, and an additional 1 for each personal non-damaging debuff on the opponent. So if they've got 3, then, which is what you want to get to, then she will inflict 4 incinerates upon a special 2. If they've already got an incinerate on them, then that's 5. And then this will stack up and stack up and stack up. Against mutants, inflict an identical plasma debuff instead. And again, we already talked about the significance of that. Probably not going to be doing the special 3 on the rotation, but on activation, consume all personal incinerate and plasma debuffs. So you really want to have a lot of these on, and then it deals 10,000 damage for each debuff consumed. But you can get this and stack these up on there to where the incinerates or plasmas that she has on the opponent are doing anywhere from 3 to 6,000 per second. So it really isn't worth to use that special 3. Again, if the opponent is not inflicted with any personal incinerates or plasma, instead inflict 6. And against mutants instead inflict plasma instead. So, this is kind of a last resort. But really, what you want to do with her, let's talk about her signature ability here. So her signature ability, she gets passive energy she gets passive energy resistance for each non-damaging debuff on the opponent. This is okay. If you're not fighting a champ that has energy attacks, who cares? I mean, it's really not that awesome. Omega Sentinel, the special 2 inflicts an additional incinerate debuff for each prowess effect on the opponent up to a maximum of 5. This is mainly against mutants, since they're the prowess or prowess, however you want to say it. They're the champions that use this mechanic the most. And so this is going to be things like Storm and Magneto, red or white. You got to be careful with that because she is metal. Sunspot has prowesses. Havoc has prowesses, things like that. Kitty Pryde. So she's really good against them because she'll just stack a ton of plasmas on them and just decimate them. So for each armor up that is consumed by a special attack, there is a 50% chance for Omega Sentinel to gain a new armor up. So this is really important, especially when it comes to this mechanic right here. So if you have 10 armor ups and you consume 5, you increase the duration. And with this, because she's max sig, with this, I could get up to all 5 of those back. Each one that's gone has a 50% chance to come back. On average, I'm going to get 2.5 back. So if I have 10, I'm going to consume 5. I'm going to get 2.5 back, so I'm going to have 7 to 8 after that. And then I can build back up to 10, and I can keep going that way. So again, if you do the same basic attack twice in a row, you're going to get a armor up. So if we do medium, we're going to get 1. If we do medium, light, we're going to get 2 from light, and then the light. So all in all, she is a pretty good champ for the rotations, and we're going to go through this. You want to get 3 debuffs on the opponent, And you're going to kind of alternate between medium, which is going to put a debuff on them, and pausing it by either doing a heavy, which is going to pause it, and it's going to switch over to the next debuff, or you're going to do a medium, light, which will just pause them. You're going to keep doing that to get 3 debuffs and possibly 1 incinerate, maybe 2, until you get to a special 2. You're going to use that special 2, and then you're just going to hit it to start stacking all of those incinerates on. And remember, everything gets refreshed or paused. Everything does whenever you do a heavy or a medium, light. So you're going to, and the objective of that is to stack as many incinerates as possible. In addition, you can use the special 1 to keep the debuffs going because it'll refresh everything, and you want to keep those going. All right, so let's look at the synergies, and while we're looking at the synergies, I am going to put her, now that we've got her up, I'm going to put her into Realm of Legends, and we're going to take her up against Winter Soldier and look at her, and we're going to build this team while we're going over these synergies. So I'm going to put her in right now. Okay, so first off, if we have Professor X or White Magneto on the team, her self-repair gains a 35% potency. I don't necessarily care about that. But if you do care about self-repair, then this stuff is going to go up. If we put Omega Sentinel on, or if we put Omega Red on, for each armor up consumed during a special attack, inflict an armor break debuff, reducing armor by 10% for the duration of the special attack. I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to put him in for that one, because that is a pretty cool ability. Just got to find him. That is a really cool. Oh, I can't put him on this team because I have him in Alliance Quest right now. So we're gonna back off of that. Omega, if we bring in Nimrod, whenever any hit from the opponent's special does not make contact with Omega Sentinel, she inflicts them with a shock passive dealing. So if we dodge from a special, we're going to put shocks on. So we are going to do that. That one we're going to do. Okay, and he's already on our team. Okay. We have Sentinel. That one is not in here. I want to see. Oh, I know. She gets that with Omega Sentinel or the Sentinel. So we're going to do it with the Sentinel. We're going to keep the Sentinel on there. These two are unique. If we have Captain Britain or... there's a whole bunch of really weird stuff in here. Okay, let's look at her kit. Let's look at her kit. Okay, here we go. So, incinerate and plasma debuffs inflicted by a medium combo enter instantly power. Okay, we want that. Let's bring that in. I'm not sure why those didn't translate very well over to Aunt May. We don't care about that. Whenever the opponent is inflicted with a cowardice debuff, invalidate 1 prowess. I don't really care about that so much. We can't bring that Omega Sentinel in, but we can bring a 5-star Sentinel in. So for each armor up consumes, let's do that. We'll bring a 5-star Omega Sentinel in because I have that. Okay. And I think that's all she's got. We can bring in... We'll bring her in, too. We'll bring that in. Okay. There's our team that we're going to use. That's the team we're going to use, and we're going to go ahead and go after Winter Soldier. And we're going to try to do this just ad lib and do the rotation, which is to get as many, and I'm going to start with the electrostatic pole because I want to put on the heal block immediately. And then we're going to try and get at least one incinerate on before we get to, or build up to a special 2. And just count the armor ups with me as this happens too. So medium, medium, there's 1 armor up. There's 2. And then we're going to heavy to pause. So we got 2. And I got hit. Ugh. Okay. Oh, and that didn't pause. Okay. Okay, there's... Okay, so now we're back to 1. And you see we're putting shocks on, too. Oh, he is just so passive-aggressive. So passive. But we have a... He bled us out. All right, we're starting over. He is so passive-aggressive. I am going to start just pausing. I'm just going to alternate between these. There we go. All right, here we go. Now we're going to pause everything. All right, now we're going to blast him. We're going to blast him with the special 3. And you'll notice that did a whole bunch of damage. There's 1. Okay, we're going to end... Okay. And we're going to refresh. We got a whole bunch of... We're going to pause everything. Okay, there's a... All right, here we go. How many... All right, and he's gone. That was it. Wasn't really happy with that fight. That didn't really showcase. Let's go to the next fight. And let's see. This Captain Marvel is a little bit more aggressive. We're going to activate electrostatic pole. And we want to try and get that rotation. We've got the special 2. But we really didn't need it, as you can see. So we're going to go that way. We're going to pause. We're going to pause again. So we got 2. There's 3. And then we're going to pause. And here we go. Okay, so we got 4. Gonna pause. And I don't know how she did that. Alright, we're gonna hit this. And that is... And it refreshed it. Even though we did it through... Pause. Boom. Oh, well, we lost all of them. We lost all of them. All right, here we go. We're back to this. We're at 4. And we got a range problem. Big range problem. Okay, we're going to refresh these with a special 1. And boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. And we're back to 5. I'm gonna pause there and then it's done. Okay. So we were able to get 5 or 6 incinerates on. She can do quite a bit of damage. Now, I want to go one other place. And I think this is in Act 7. I want to see, there is a place where we can go, and it's not this one. Maybe it was Act. Well, I think we got that as best as we can. You can kind of see the rotation to go through, but it is an aggressive style of fighting. If you can get that going, it works really well. If the opponent is not so aggressive, then it's hard to get all that stuff to maintain. But you can see where we can put a very effective heal prevention on the opponent and really, really, really go after mutants if we need to. All right, that is what I got for everybody. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.